Download this code from codegive.com, link in the description below. OK, let's dive deep into Redux Toolkit's createasyncthunk for handling asynchronous operations, specifically in tutorial 24. I'll provide a comprehensive tutorial with explanations, code examples, and best practices. Redux Toolkit Tutorial 24, Async Thunks. Understanding the problem, asynchronous operations in Redux. Redux is a predictable state container. It thrives on synchronous actions and reducers, which make debugging and state management easier. However, real-world applications often need to perform asynchronous tasks, such as fetching data from an API, saving data to a server, handling timeouts, performing complex calculations in the background. Directly dispatching asynchronous actions to a Redux store breaks the predictable flow and makes debugging more challenging. That's where asynchronous middleware comes in. Middleware to the rescue, Thunk. A thunk is a function that wraps an expression to delay its evaluation. In the context of Redux, a thunk is a function that returns another function. The inner function receives dispatch and gets state as arguments, allowing it to perform asynchronous logic and then dispatch regular actions to update the store. Redux Toolkit's createasyncthunk. Redux Toolkit simplifies asynchronous Redux actions with createasyncthunk. It automatically generates action types and handles the common patterns of asynchronous data fetching, loading states, and error handling. Benefits of createasyncthunk **** simplified async logic ** reduces boilerplate code for common async patterns. Automatic action creators * generates action creators for pending, fulfilled, and rejected states. Type safety * provides better type inference for your async actions. Reduces boilerplate * handles dispatching loading /success /failure actions. Key concepts and structure. Createasyncthunk takes two main arguments. 1. Type prefix, string. A string prefix used to generate the action types. For example, if type prefix is users/fetch users, the action types will be users/fetch users/pending, users/fetch users/fulfilled, and users/fetch users/rejected. 2. Payload creator, async function. A callback function that contains the actual asynchronous logic. This function typically fetches data from an API, performs some background calculation, or interacts with an external service. It should return a promise that resolves with the data, success, or rejects with an error. Basic example, fetching users from an API. Let's create an example of fetching users from a hypothetical API. Explanation ***. 1. Createasyncthunk, users/fetch users, async, equals, this creates the async thunk. Users/fetch users is the action type prefix. Redux Toolkit will generate these actions. Users/fetch users/pending. Users/fetch users/fulfilled. Users/fetch users/rejected. The async, equals. Function is the payload creator. It fetches the user data from the API. The returned data from the payload creator is automatically dispatched as the payload of the fulfilled action. If an error is thrown within the payload creator, it is handled and dispatched as the payload of the rejected action. 2. Create slice, this creates a Redux slice to manage the state related to the users. Initial state, sets the initial state of the slice. Extra reducers, this is where you handle the actions generated by createasyncthunk. Builder.addCase, fetch users.pending, state, equals, this handles the pending action. Typically, you set a loading flag to true to indicate that the data is being fetched. You might also clear any previous errors. *builder.add case, fetch users.fulfilled, state, action, equals, this handles the fulfilled action. You update the state with the data that was fetched. Action.payload contains the data returned from the payload creator. *builder.add case, fetch users.rejected, state, action, equals, this handles the rejected action. You set an error flag in the state to indicate that an error occurred. Action.error.message, if the error was thrown, or action.payload, if reject with value was used, contains the error message or the specific error value. 3. Export the reducer *export default users slice.reducer, exports the reducer function that you will need to include in your Redux store. 4. Selectors *I also included example selectors for accessing the state values. This helps with making your component read data from the Redux state. Using the thunk in a component. Now, let's see how to use this fetch users thunk in a React component. Explanation * 1. Use dispatch, * gets the dispatch function from Redux. 2. Uses elector, * gets the users, loading, and error values from the Redux state using the selectors we defined. 3. Use effect, equals, * dispatches the fetch users thunk when the component mounts. The empty dependency array ensures that it only runs once. 4. Conditional rendering * renders different content based on the loading and error states. Setting up the Redux store. Finally, you need to configure your Redux store to include the user's reducer. Important considerations and best practices. Error handling always handle potential errors in your payload creator function using try, catch blocks. Loading states use the pending action to set a loading state so you can display a loading indicator. Immutability remember to update your state immutably within the reducers. Redux Toolkit uses immer under the hood, so you can write mutating logic, but it's actually performing immutable updates. Selectors use selectors to read data from the store. This helps with performance and makes your components more testable. Reject with value instead of throwing an error, you can use reject with value, error message, to dispatch a specific value as the error payload. This allows you to customize the error handling logic in your reducers. Example of using reject with value *. The createasyncthunk receives a second argument in the payload creator which is called the Thunks. The Thunks provides access to functions such as *dispatch, the Redux dispatch method. *getState, the Redux getState method. *extra, allows you to inject additional dependencies into your thunk. This is useful for things like API clients or custom services. This needs to be configured when setting up the store. *request ID, a unique ID for the request. *signal, an abort signal that you can use to cancel the request if it's no longer needed. *reject with value, as explained above, a function to return a specific value as the error payload. Example of using the Thunks signal *. Summary. createasyncthunk is a powerful tool in Redux Toolkit for managing asynchronous operations. It simplifies the process of fetching data, updating the store with loading states and error handling, and reducing boilerplate code. By understanding the concepts and following best practices, you can build more robust and maintainable Redux applications. This tutorial should give you a solid foundation for using createasyncthunk effectively. Remember to consult the official Redux Toolkit documentation for more advanced features and options.